Hey guys, this is Kat and Alex here with a recap of Raw from June 27th. It first started with Seth coming out. All three members of the Shield are going to be in that triple threat match at Battleground. Seth Rollins actually ended up breaking the fourth wall a little bit and talking about Roman Reigns' suspension, pointing out his tweet that he sent out and about how he violated WWE's wellness policy. Following that, Dean Ambrose came out and talked about it a little bit. He was interrupted though by AJ Styles saying that it should still be a triple threat match, but Roman Reigns should be taken out of it, and AJ Styles should be the replacement. And then they came up with the concept of the Fatal 4-Way, but Seth Rollins still wanted it to be a one-on-one match. Then John Cena came out reminding everybody that it marked 14 years since he's been in the WWE, and that he lives in Tampa, and he said, hey, why not just make it a Fatal 5-Way match?
Also, Raw was in Tampa, we forgot to mention that. So Stephanie comes out, and she says what happened with Roman Reigns was a complete embarrassment. And she's also embarrassed that Dean Ambrose has the World Heavyweight Championship title.
So that night, she made a few matches to try and work around the Battleground main event. They had Seth Rollins and John Cena, which we'll get to, and if Cena won, he would be put into the main event at Battleground. They also had AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose, and if AJ Styles won, he would also be put in the main event. So there's the possibility of it being either a triple threat, a Fatal 4-Way, or a Fatal 5-Way.
So moving on. Next was a match with Paige and Sasha versus Charlotte and Dana. Eventually, Sasha put Dana into the bank statement and she tapped out right away.
The next match that was on the card was the continuation of the rivalry between Titus O'Neil and Rusev. Titus O'Neil went after Rusev right away. Didn't even get to start the match yet. It went back and forth for a little bit, but eventually Titus won via a countout.
Backstage, Stephanie was on the phone, and Corporate Kane came out of nowhere and interrupted her. They were then interrupted by The Miz and Maurice. And according to Kane, Kane brought up the fact that you have to defend your title every 30 days, and since Miz has been off TV for about 30 days, it was time for him to defend his Intercontinental title
against a mystery opponent. The next match was Seth Rollins versus John Cena. The club came out and interfered, and Seth won via a pedigree thanks to a distraction from the club, and therefore Cena was not able to qualify for the main event at Battleground.
After that, Enzo and Big Cass came out, and they wanted the entire crowd to do the wave right when the bell rang. They were fighting an unnamed tag team, and it ended within 30 seconds. And the whole crowd did do the wave. It was pretty cool.
And then the Social Outcasts actually came out and said that they aren't soft, but in fact they're hard. And they got into a fight about who's the hardest, and then tried to jump in the ring with Enzo and Cass, but didn't make it, and then Cass tells them there's one word to describe them.
After that, WWE announced that they had teamed up with the Special Olympics and the Play Unified campaign today in Orlando.
The next match was Summer Rae versus Becky Lynch with Natalya on commentary. The match didn't even start because Becky immediately got out of the ring and attacked Natalya, and that was pretty much the end of that. Next was the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. His two guests were Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn said that he was getting sick of the rivalry. He said it was holding both of their careers back. I personally love the rivalry. It always stays fresh for some reason for me. And Sami Zayn basically said that he wanted to put it to rest and essentially called out Kevin Owens, saying that he needed to grow a pair and end the rivalry as well. So they set it for one final match at Battleground. The next match was Miz versus his mystery opponent, who we find out is Demon Kane for the Intercontinental Championship. For some reason, something happens with Maurice, and then The Miz goes to attend to her, and then they run off backstage, and Kane wins by a countout, and The Miz retains his title.
The next match is Apollo and Cesaro versus Sheamus and Del Rio. Apollo pins Sheamus with a spinning sit-out powerbomb. And that's the end of that match.
And JoJo was backstage with Dean Ambrose, and then Stephanie showed up saying that how she was still embarrassed that he's the champ. She made a comment about a scruffy, slanted face. I don't know, it was kind of funny. So the New Day came on the Titantron, and they were dressed as the Wyatt family, cutting a Wyatt family-esque promo. And then they came out to the ring dressed as the Wyatt family, and they start their roast of them. Eventually, the Wyatt family makes their way out to the stage, and then Bray Wyatt says, "It's a new day." Yes, it is. Cuts a promo on the New Day, and then it ends it with New Day Falls.
Well, Xavier Woods looked a little off, as if he was thinking about leaving the New Day, and that's why Bray Wyatt said, "New Day Falls, New Day Falls." So after that, New Day was backstage with Renee. Xavier still looked kind of off. I guess we'll learn more about that on SmackDown, hopefully.
And then the main event of the night was Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. We had Seth Rollins on commentary. The match was going over pretty well, and then the club came out again to just try and distract Dean Ambrose. And then Cena ended up coming out and fighting with the club, which ended up distracting AJ Styles. Dean was able to hit the Dirty Deeds and was able to pin him. And then after the match, the club attacked Cena. Seth attacked Dean and then gave him 2 pedigrees, took his belt, and was holding it up with his foot on his face. And the match at Battleground will remain a triple threat match.
Thank you all for watching. We hope you'll come back again, and we hope you enjoyed. Bye.